One night, a fox tried to steal chickens and got stuck on a fence when it tried to leave. The next day, the man found the fox struggling desperately, baring its teeth and growling at him. Luckily, the man didn't hurt the fox. Instead, he gently freed it and let it go. Will you leave a heart emoji to praise this kind man in the comments? Your kindness will bring blessings from millions of angels to your family. A few days later, the fox appeared at the man's door. The man offered it some fresh meat, but instead of eating right away, the fox took a few pieces and disappeared into the night. Since then, the fox has completely let its guard down and become as friendly as a puppy. The man even made a small wooden box for it to rest under the eaves. The fox has also become the man's personal alarm clock, waking him up every morning to make sure he's not late for work. When the girl was walking with her dog, the dog found an abandoned kitten. The dog also tried to check if the kitten was still alive. Fortunately, it was still alive. The girl did not dare to delay and took it home immediately and fed it some milk. The kitten began to feel drowsy after drinking milk. In this way, under the careful care of the girl, the kitten grew up a lot and became more and more lovely. If you also think it is cute, please leave a heart emoji in the comment. You and your family will also receive the blessings of 1 million angels. Look, the way it walks, does it look like a furry little ball? Although its legs are short, it does not affect its speed at all when running. Let's listen to its cry when it is unhappy. Isn't it cute? It is very lively and active. It is very energetic. The kitten is the most favored in the girl's home, and even the dog in the girl's home loves it very much.
Mr. Bird discovered a fallen bird's nest under a pile of tea tree branches. However, there were no baby birds in the nest. Based on his experience, he deduced that the chicks might be buried beneath the branches. Sure enough, he found one chick, a second, a third, and a fifth. In total, he found 5 chicks. Since it had just rained, the little ones' bodies were cold. Mr. Bird warmed them with the heat from his palms, then hurried home. Once at home, Mr. Bird immediately fed the chicks. However, their condition was dire. Ants had eaten one chick's leg and the bone was visible. After feeding them, he placed them in an incubator, hoping they would survive. 3 of them didn't make it the next day, which was heartbreaking. The remaining 2 seemed to be fine. Under Mr. Bird's careful care, they grew up healthy. Their personalities were completely different. One would play outside all day and only fly back late in the evening. The other preferred to play nearby and would return to Mr. Bird soon after. Even though it could feed itself, it still loved being fed by Mr. Bird. They were truly adorable. Nina noticed that the squirrel she usually feeds was climbing the tree with difficulty, using a lot of effort. Then she took out some nuts to call it over. When the little one came close, Nina was shocked. It had been severely injured. Nina immediately took the squirrel to the pet hospital. After a series of tests, including a CT scan, the doctor discovered a fractured tibia at a dislocated ankle joint. The doctor began treating the little one right away. After returning home from the hospital, Nina prepared a big apple for the squirrel. Thankfully, the injury hadn't affected its appetite. After a period of rest at Nina's home, she took it back for a follow-up checkup. The doctor said its injuries had healed well, and Nina was relieved. Over time, their bond grew stronger. The squirrel loved being held by Nina and would fall asleep in her arms. Nina even made it a beautiful little dress. So cute. About 40 days later, the squirrel's injuries had fully healed, and it climbed with ease. Nina knew she couldn't keep it with her forever. It belonged to nature. However, she still visited it regularly. After all, they shared a deep mutual affection.